2019 Mountain Dew GSL Season 3 Code S Reversal.
Welcome back to the GSL Code S. It's tied up 1-1 right now. Totally different games, totally different builds. That all-in from Rogue was really cool. Completely blindsided Dark. I guess the question is, does he have a lot more builds like that, or can he actually take Dark on in a straight-up game?
Well, we have seen, for certain, out of 4 different builds, 3 highly prepped builds. And, I mean, obviously we couldn't see what Dark was going to do on that King's Cove game, but you can see that Rogue really prepped that Zergling Sunken Rush, or the Spine Rush, and it was just so deadly. Likewise, in Game 1, both of them had these super kind of prepped out. The thing is, Dark's was partially reactive, but he must have prepared the Swarm Host play. I mean, he must have. It was too well executed.
I can't imagine he just intuited that on the spot, right?
No,
that
it's
looked
impossible.
Too different. Quick reminder, hang on to your tickets if you're here in the studio. We have a giveaway at the end of the show. It's photo albums of the GSL players, very rare actually. And then we have a Blizzard Cheese Zerger shirts. Yes.
Great stuff.
Good stuff. So we're going to go.
Very fitting for tonight.
Yes, especially after Game 2.
Win the shirt and get your picture taken with Rogue at the end.
We're going to go to Acropolis for Map 3. And I'm excited. I'm looking forward to seeing what these guys have in store for us. I do feel like everything on each map is going to be mapped out very perfectly. For both these guys, no matter who goes to the finals, it's going to be the last CVZ for them in GSL Code S in a long time.
Yeah, that's very true, since there won't be any more till next year.
Sometimes championship players, as they're on that road to getting that championship, they've actually hidden several strats or builds or techniques for later parts or for specific players or specific moments when they really need to win. We have all the time, we have no more time left. It's just CVZs, so these should be the best CVZs we could ask for right now in the current meta here in the round of 4 of the GSL.
Gosu Crew Dark. Jin-Air Green Wings Rogue.
This map gives us a lot of epic ZVZs. Definitely a lot of late games here. A lot of Viper Lurker type of shenanigans. Now, are we going to get into any games like that is a huge question. Because...
Rogue nickname Sexy Boy out here. That's right. They're right. They know it. That's the truth. Mm-hmm. We've been doing this for so long now. Over 9 years.
If GSL is the birthplace of esports, does that make us like the mother and father of esports?
Yeah, it makes us the father and father, or
okay.
Joseph.
Well, I just want to say that I am very disappointed in most of our children. Okay?
Yeah.
Most of them did not turn out how I would have imagined and would have hoped.
Half of them became half of them became degenerates. The other half became out-of-touch hedge fund children. So this is it's a very weird thing.
It's very true.
So, again, the builds so far are mirrored. We have to wait and see what kind of tech they're going to show us here. Mm-hmm. But as Artosis was saying earlier, this map lends itself to some pretty epic ZVZs. You can take a lot of expansions on this map, and that's really, really difficult to try to hold all those different spots as you get further and further spread out in those positions.
Yeah.
Cyril and the Laser had an excellent game on this map. It was a lot of fun to...
Oh, yeah, they did.
That was probably the best game we've ever had on this map, to be honest. That was for GSL versus the World. I think it was Game 4, but I'm not sure. Sometimes I get the order of the games mixed up in my head, but that was one of the more difficult games actually to cast because there was so many things going on and so much subtle math at play here as far as who's trading what and how much of your supply is where.
Sure. Well, Rogue with a very quick layer here in the natural, nonetheless. So that's kind of interesting. We'll see if this is just a straight-up Muta play or possibly going directly into Nidus. Of course, scouting no third base is going to be a big tell for Dark, that something is up.
Yeah, with two base, whenever you see them on two base, that means they have to be getting ready to do something. Because in a more normal game, you would be on 3 bases trying to slowly build up, and that tech is going to reveal itself a little bit later on. And of course, they're also trying to be ready to defend here. So the 2 base is already, signaling that Dark's going to need to be prepared for some type of tech here, because Dark is going for the more conventional route, just getting 3 hatches. Looks like this last link is going to just barely be taken out here.
Yeah,
Looks like
seasonal
pretty
layer
much,
though, so that's pretty much all you needed.
Scouted everything it needed to see, basically.
Yeah, there's nothing that he doesn't really know about what Dark's up to right now.
So that layer's finished here.
Yeah, Dark starts his carapace. Cool. Very, very ling heavy now. Look at that. That is a hell of a lot of lings being made. A lot of gases coming up. Oh, and a Hydralisk Den. Oh, ho, ho, goody.
This is such a different ZVZ.
Ooh.
I was wondering if he was going to throw down a Spire here.
Yeah, with all the gases, it looked like
that's just more common when you have that many gases
yeah.
to try to, match the gas and the minerals together with a Spire.
Well, the +1 missiles screamed Roach, and then the gases screamed Spire.
Right.
And then the Hydralisk Den screams Lurkers. Right?
Now, is there a chance that he's going to try to get a Nidus with this, too? Yeah, you're right. He's going Lurkers here.
Well, I mean, there's some great plays that you can end up doing with Nidus Lurker. If their army is not in their main and you have Lurkers on top of the ramp, that just doesn't really get broken. This is a lot of lings. Ooh, okay. Does force it back for now. Of course, that queen in the front has all the energy, so that's a little bit sad.
Yeah, this is a misplaced. Oh my God, he broke in.
That might just be it.
Let's see. The more roaches are coming out here. The second queen is about to go down, and the lings are continuing to surround and now spread out here to try to diversify the amount of damage that can be done here.
Hey, he hasn't really taken drone damage yet, and that's really the most important thing. So a good stronghold thus far. I think
he didn't see the den, by the way. Real quick thing Shine showed us. So.
Yeah, that's super important. I would imagine right now that you're thinking this must be a Spire play, right? Or a Nidus with Roach. But just going into the Lurker, I mean, as soon as you get a few Lurkers up, you are just about as safe as can be and can easily expand.
Well, especially versus lings like this. I mean, nothing's going to happen.
I mean, Lurkers just dominate basically all the ground units for a very long time.
Yeah.
So, Dark is actually behind on drones right now despite the 3 bases. And he's continuing to make roaches because I think he thinks he's about to be attacked.
Yeah, well, I think Dark is, throughout this game, had an incorrect read on what's going on. He attacked in, probably thinking that, there might have been a completely different tech, because this is obviously an unorthodox tech compared to what we normally cast in ZVZ. And now he's gone back, and he defended, I think, thinking he's going to be attacked. But really, it's just been Rogue powering on 2 bases. There is the first Lurker coming down now.
This is really going to catch him off guard when the Lurkers come out. Look at this. I can't even believe the craziness of the games that we're seeing.
How many Lurkers does he want? He's getting 3 now.
Oh, I think he'll just steadily make Lurkers. As many as he can. Of course, once he gets these up and burrows them in place, he's going to be very, very safe, able to expand. His drone count is still even with Dark. When Dark sees that he sees Lurkers now, I feel like this is where you just drone for quite a while. Take another base as well, because this is about as immobile an army as you can get.
Right. I mean, when you see something like that, it does tell you, even though the tech's unusual and you weren't prepared perhaps, you're not going to be attacked for a little while.
Yeah.
And so much of Zerg is just trying to squeeze out additional drones whenever you can.
Mm-hmm. Well, Dark does have a little bit of a drone lead. Yep, he's continuing to drone as well. So, oh my God, is he actually just going to attack? This is such a wonky
Okay, I did not
army.
expect this. Oh! Barely plugs that. Forces the Lurkers back. Now, Lurkers are not exactly great moving around the map.
No, I mean, once they get their adaptive talons, then this could be a more mobile army. But right now, they are like siege tanks or something, right? Like, you can make them siege. So what Dark needs to do is he needs to get out there and slow them down a bit. But is this just like a pressure play from Rogue? Is he actually going to attack?
It appears not, or at least if he was going to, that was stopped the first time he tried to move out there. When the Lings counterattacked in, he probably thought, okay, he's lost tempo here. Still might try to mask it and make it look like that. There's a Nidus network coming down.
Yeah, that's really good. And I love that he's getting burrow and bro movement as well. He's really dedicating into this layer tech for a bit.
It's actually Nidus networks on both sides, so they both have the same ideas. I assume that Dark wants to try to knight us maybe somewhere in the main where the lurkers might not be there to defend, where I think it's possible we might have. I guess Rogue could try to knight us in either one. What's weird is they couldn't end up knight us-ing each other.
Yes.
And then both of them pulling the knight us off. I don't know. This could get weird.
Can turn into a game where they expand each other's bases, as crazy as that sounds.
Yeah.
And we could also see the most insane thing ever, which would be Dark knight-ing it into his own main because the lurkers are on top of his ramp. Now that would be something. That's where you get to just turn in your bingo card. You punched all the holes and that's it. It's like we've seen everything.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, so there's going to be an initial attack on the front here. We're still waiting. I think the knight is going to come up there. Is it going to be in the main or outside?
Should be in the main. Should be in the main. That's really the right place to make it.
That way you get the lurkers in a spot where it really hurts. Okay, now this is so many roaches and ravagers. You have to think twice before you just attack into this.
Yeah, I think he's got to give up that fourth base, which
Dark's maxed out.
Indeed he is.
I mean, I don't think he can really do anything to this army. Okay, but with that maxed out army, there's the other Nidus. But Rogue's ready.
Catches it instantly right there. Backs up right now, just kind of zoning everything out.
Oh,
okay, what is he going to pop out? Oh, there's the lurkers. Might be in trouble.
Overseer being made just above this.
Okay, he needs to get way more army out there. 2 lurkers is not nearly enough. There you go. Now that's scary.
Second Nidus coming here.
It's creep spreading with Niduses. Gets a swine pool. No more Zerglings for you.
Oh, he's going to get another lurker out here.
Look at this, holding on against everything as well.
He's trying this really tricky balancing act of having enough to hold off the attack in. Hold on. Did he neglect this area too much?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Okay, he's popping his lurkers back out defensively.
Because he can come out, burrow, and then drive this out, dealing a lot of damage. Go right back in. That's beautiful. So good, so good. And now he can get to the ramp. And this bottlenecks the reinforcements from the roaches, so now the layer's going to go down.
Yeah, you can't really stop that either. That is a totally abusive move right there. Going up that ramp with roaches, just attacking lurkers in general with roaches is so bad, but up a ramp, never, ever, ever, ever going to happen.
Okay, now this is really all right, GG.
Crazy game again.
Rogue, I love what he did there.
There was a lot of mind games there as well, like where I think he made the layer at the front on purpose just to make sure that Dark saw.
Yeah.
I think that was the case. He's like, I really want you to see this because this is a strategy where when you see that layer, you think Nidus or Mutas.
Right.
Those are the only two real things. But the fact that he rushes into Lurker, like...
And it's so soon that you almost can't make that many Lurkers.
Yeah.
But then you get enough out and you're taking a third and you make the Nidus, and it's like, I mean, the whole rhythm of that build is so weird.
Yeah.
And I think Dark, who is the best Zerg in Korea, everybody's saying, he just won GSL Code S not long ago. I think he was even a little bit confused. Just like this picture, I think he was kind of scratching his head.
Literally,
he is scratching.
Right now he is. You know what? I'm so excited right now for BlizzCon, right? Because we're going to see a decent amount of ZVZs there. What is going to be the meta of ZVZ by then? Because this is something very different and very weird that we're seeing from Dark and Rogue tonight. And they have not, the Koreans have not been in control of the ZVZ meta in quite a while now, I would say.
Well, we're getting to a point where ZVZ is becoming more flexible than I ever thought was possible. I mean, there's so many crazy tricks and techniques that are coming in here. In a matchup that I think, especially early on in StarCraft 2, seemed really limited. Or seemed like we had sort of figured it out, and it was more about, kind of slowly maxing out. If you don't do any kind of cheese or rushes like that, maxing out and trying to play a positional game. But, I mean, with that was a crazy mind game. By the way, that's 2 games now that Rogue has won, basically with very unconventional, surprising play, almost punishing a player who is maybe over-prepared for a more traditional ZVZ?
Well, he's punishing him for playing right is what it is. This is a very meta build because, the reason why we've always seen the very standard play is because roaches are strong. You can make them quickly. They run around the map well. Well, what counters roaches? It's actually lurkers. That's the greatest counter to roaches that there is. Once lurkers are out, you don't even want roaches anymore. So he's taking that and hurting Dark because of it.
We're going to Cyber Forest for Game 3, and that's loaded up. Let's go.
Oh my God.
Oh God, it doesn't stop.
Gosu Crew, Dark. Jin Air Green Wings, Rogue.
This is StarCraft 2 ZVZ manga edition. Every game. Oh my God, they're so crazy.
Oh my God. So Dark is very countered right now.
Yeah.
This is bad news for Dark.
This is just
12 pool against gas pool here.
This is just too good. The twists in this series.
Yeah. Wow.
I can't believe this. So Dark. Okay, guys, hold on. Let's unpack this a little bit here. Dark opens up with an insanely fast pool, hoping to punish anything middle of the road to greedy, right? But Rogue opens up with some greed of his own, which happens to be he didn't. Rogue Dark's was more dramatic, but it allows Rogue to basically just stop this.
Yeah, because he's just gone gas pool after Overlord, right? So
Right.
he's got a 5-worker advantage.
Right.
Now, okay, so to be fair, he's not sending his drones, and that's important because if he sent those, I would just be like, okay, well, I guess that's it. As is, he's taking his hatchery, he's sending his lings over. We'll see what he can get done.
We have a Baneling's nest. Why can I not talk? A Baneling's nest coming here, whereas Dark does not even have gas. Now let's see how he actually controls over here.
Of course, Rogue does not know for sure what's going on as far as gas, so he's being very careful here. He's pressuring everything back, he was making a spine. It looks like, I think he is still making it, actually. Yeah, he is.
It really is tricky to try to not lose any drones here and then keep this alive. He's going to try to come around.
Yeah, he's seen that the hatchery is on the way, so that definitely tells him a lot that this is not really all in from Dark. Very aggressive for sure, though. Dark, I think, in some trouble here. Rogue is making a hell of a lot of lings.
The spine's going to rotate over here towards the natural.
Yeah, and he has a Baneling nest, so you don't even need speedlings for this.
No. Well, the Banelings reign supreme here. The Banelings can basically fight everything on the ground. Now, he is getting ling speed, so he's not going to attack in just yet. Is there counterplay here, aggro-wise, for Rogue?
Yes.
You can make some Banes, right? Get some lings out there.
Yeah.
Look at that. Now, unfortunately, he messed up on trying to disguise that. He tried to have the lings run back so they wouldn't be seen at all.
Saw
but
two.
When you see lings running away, though,
Yeah.
it can make you a little bit suspicious, right?
Generally, and he starts a spine, which is exactly what he needs. Queens and spines can block any attack that comes in. Just target down the Banelings because there are a lot of slowlings still. So there are a couple Banes on the way here for Rogue. A couple more on the way now. I don't think he can get too much done here. There's enough now. Yeah. This is great defense as well. Oh!
He's going to try to get those 3 lings, and that is enough. He takes that out. He backs up. 2 more Banes are going to come in. Note how he keeps him back. He's waiting for something really good. He wants to make sure those Banelings are worth way more than what they were invested in.
Yeah, they actually had some good detonations already, killing more lings than really Dark wanted to lose there. So maybe a little bit of miscontrol from Dark. The hatchery's still at pretty high health, and he's doing a good job of slowing this down right now.
He's fishing the queens out slowly. Looks like there's barely enough barely enough queens and lings here to just kind of keep the hatch alive. And I guess that means Dark is going to hold on for a little bit longer. We don't see any more Banelings being made. If we do, we'll know it will signal to us that there's another attack coming. But instead, Rogue is going to take a third and try to get ahead in a different way here. And as that is happening on the blue side of the map, on the red side of the map, we see the beginning of an Evo Chamber. Actually, I was going to say he's going to wall in and tech up, but then he's running here now. Okay, that was too ambitious there by Rogue.
Ooh, good defense from Dark, no doubt about it. But, at the end of this, Rogue is actually up in drones, right? That's a really big deal. And Dark doesn't have any recourse. Right? He doesn't...
No, I think Dark is in timeout right now on the map.
He is.
He has to stay back at home. He can't really do anything. Now, he's trying to turn this disadvantage into an advantage and layer tech up here. We saw him try to get that Evo Chamber up earlier, and the Lings dove on that. Now, we see a Ro.4 being made, but one theme that's been going on in this series is that the tech you see is not always what's most important. You know what I mean? Like
that is a theme that we've seen in this series. You're not even overstating it. It's really
I just
funny.
want to point out because I feel like in a normal cast I'd be like, so that means he's going to make roaches, but I'm not.
The things that you're seeing don't mean what they normally mean today.
They're more intended for what the opponent's going to see, and then maybe you can with some misdirection there.
These guys are both just illusionists, is what's going on.
That's right.
It's really
it's two
crazy.
magicians battling.
That is. It's two magicians
We're not sure
battling.
if they both have magic or none of them have
Eat that Magic the Gathering. These are the real planeswalkers here.
we want to say it's two. You would want to say it's two warlocks battling or two mages, but it's actually just two magicians, like guys that do magic tricks, making quarters disappear,
it's so
hiding
much less
balls in cups. You know.
Whenever I think of magicians now, I think of Job.
From Arrested Development.
Yeah, it's ruined magicians for me, man.
Not magic tricks, Dad. Illusions.
So funny.
So yeah, I mean, but seriously though, there's a lot of misdirection here, and this time it is going to be roaches, but with Nidus thrown in there while he's taking a third.
Yeah.
So this could have looked like he was going to get just upgrades some roaches and then expand a little bit later. But this is going to get very explosive very fast. Now, over on Rogue's side of the map, he seems to be playing just a more straight-up game.
Yeah, well, Rogue has kept a little edge in every way, like army and workers, the entire time. So as long as he catches the fact that there is a Nidus on the way, I think he's going to be completely fine. I can't imagine Dark actually doing something like ending the game here.
Look
so
at
he
that.
actually, it's just in vision of that Overlord.
I think he scouted the GSL logo.
You wanted to see
sure
the
which
whole
tournament he's going to win here.
Okay. Well, I guess we're going to pop queens out of that and see how this goes.
Second Nidus coming up here. That double Nidus play has become very popular because you can pick and choose which one you want to take, but I think as we've seen,
Yeah, you got to prevent that. He does have the spine here, which really helps. He has a couple of his own queens. That is a lot of transfusion energy, though. So Dark's attack is deadly. This is scary.
Okay. The roaches that are in the main are going to come back down here. We don't see the second Nidus being remade just yet. One queen goes down. Transfuse is being distributed pretty nicely here, but it seems like Rogue just has too much. Rogue driving on this right now.
Yeah, some great targeting here by Rogue as well, picking off everything he needed to. The queen's now out of energy. He pulls back to his spine. He's done enough. The attack is over.
Okay, he's going to try to do it again, but look at this. Rogue is balancing this out perfectly.
Yeah, and he's made some drones during this. I mean, he's in such good shape right now.
I don't know how he managed to squeeze drones out in that. That's pretty impressive. I mean, the problem now is that Dark's investment did not pay off. Look at that. A third base with no drones at it.
Yeah.
That whole third base was there to make it look like there wouldn't be the double Nidus. Now drones are being transferred over there.
The third base with no workers at. What is this, PvP? Come on. Well, it's looking very good for Rogue right now. He's got the bigger army. He's defended everything well.
There's one little moral victory for,
I guess
for
so.
Dark there.
I guess that is true.
Slow down your upgrades.
Rogue's still running around with his little group of speedlings, seeing what he can get done. Not a whole lot. Good defense from Dark. But this is hard, right? You're kind of battling the same units with the same units, but you have less. He does have those few extra Ravagers, but will he be able to actually connect with Biles? Not as likely. And then he connects some up there. Okay, cool. Right, Rogue trying to play in two different locations at once right now. He actually has like a smaller army at the top, but at least it's keeping a bunch there as the rest of the roaches actually come over.
It's like a mouth closing in on the army.
Yeah.
No! He like almost Venus flytrapped the army, Artos. Did you see that? We very rarely ever get to see it happen like that. Look at this.
No.
He's using workers to defend here. I think that Dark is barely going to hold this off.
Even if he barely holds it off, his drone count has been decimated. His economy is garbage at this point. What do you do then? That's tough.
Yeah, this is a moment where you could attack in, and maybe it doesn't win the game. Oh, get the cannon! Okay. Yeah, this is a moment where you can attack in, and you don't have to win the fight because you're still holding them down. They're still struggling to get workers up. Rogue with just such excellent decision-making and control this time.
Yeah, he's playing beautifully.
The problem, though, is that the position that Dark got in this game was that he took a huge risk. So did
Yeah, he 12 pulled. And
so did Rogue in game 2, but this was a moment where the wrist didn't work out. I think Dark is playing an S-class game, considering the position he's still in here. But it does seem like Rogue is getting closer and closer to bringing this to an end.
Well, the 12 pool of Dark not really paying off this game, for sure. You know, he said in interviews that he thought it was a good build. There's been some debate whether or not he was clowning.
GG!
But not winning with it here, and suddenly a game away from elimination. Rogue looking for that BlizzCon spot right now.
Rut Rogue!
Rut Rogue. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah. God.
Tasty do over here.
That's right, man. And Shaggy Toases. Dude, I don't know what to say. I thought Dark was going to come out on top, but these games have been pretty crazy. And I'll tell you what, the build orders have been working out for Rogue, especially in 2 of these games.
And to be honest, I'm so shocked at game 1 and the loss there. It was such a weird build.
All right, guys, we've got a short break. We come back, game 5 in Dark versus Rogue, a fight to get to the finals of the GSL.